just want to keep dancing.
I know, right? This is crazy. What? Look at us.
I can't believe it's April.
I can't believe it's April either. Oh my gosh. I was just thinking that the other day, like it's totally going through the year. How insane is that? Insane. Hey, oh my gosh, you're watching on YouTube. Hi, Dr. Daryl. Guys, if you don't know who Dr. Daryl is, she's phenomenal. I absolutely love her. She is an incredible human being who teaches transformational work, just loving yourself and empowerment. She focuses on women as well as men. So that's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. Heather, you've been doing some amazing stuff. You've got an event you're going to here in a week or so, right?
Yeah, I go to Unite. So that's kind of like the old boomtown and inside real estate. Tom Ferry's going to be there. Just trying to branch out and go to different conferences. I like the smaller ones. So I'm excited.
Hey, Humberto. Heather, if you guys don't know, she is my rock. She is the OG of creative marketing in real estate. She is the reason why I am who I am. Thank you. I worked for a broker who told me, you got to know Heather when I was first starting off. Met her and I was like, oh my gosh, we're like the same but different. She does everything I am not good at, from websites to CRMs to just SEO. You are the godmother of that. So thank you for all that. And if you don't know her stuff, it's socialmarketingnut.com. And don't forget to join our group or follow us on YouTube. Yeah, subscribe because all of our classes are there as well. Yay.
Yeah, so tons of good stuff coming your way. Breeze. I'm going to say Breezehead is a scary place to be right now. Usually that's my line, but
I think
I'm going to give it to you right now.
You know, I sent her a text message of an idea last night and she was like super like, oh my gosh. So it'll be great. So ironically, our really old and dear friend, Bree Martin, is supposed to be joining us so we can mind map a marketing concept that she has. She's incredible. If you don't know who Bree Martin is, she does these really stunning, gorgeous doodles. She has been offered opportunities to go to like Tom Ferry and Remax and different conferences and create these one-of-a-kind doodles that are quotes. She actually made a doodle of a quote I posted the other day that I found on TikTok. And I was like, I see you, girl. It was really cute. So we're going to mind map her team. She is based out of Casper, Wyoming. Before she hops on, I know she was having some tech issues. We are going to just dive into the premise and what is a mind map. If you guys have any idea what a mind map is, comment, send me emoji. I want to see your interaction. This is going to be a course where you have to interact one way or another. So
I've got my notebook.
You got your notebook. Good. If you want to share the screen, let's dive in, guys. Oh, look, it's so pretty. Just so everyone knows, this is my first time doing a setup like this. So let's go. All right. What is a mind map and why do we use it? How do we use it? Just all of the fun things of what you can actually do with it. It's quite an incredible tool. And I use it for every single thing I do now. So let's go in. Let's start with what is it? Because you can't really do something if you don't really understand what it is. And if you notice me, I'm quite inquisitive with everything. I ask a lot of questions. I want to know a lot of things. And I cannot subscribe to something until I understand who, what, where, how, why, the whole thing.
Where's my volume?
Hey, she's here. Hey,
I can't hear anything though.
You can't hear us? Well, we can hear you.
Yeah.
You want to mute her, Heather, just in case? Gotta love the tech. Yeah, all the questions Ramsey has. So if you've gotten ahead, go ahead and read this. It says mind mapping is a visual tool that can help in organizing ideas, planning marketing strategies, and fostering.
So I can't hear you guys. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. I don't use Chrome, so I didn't have the settings right.
That's all right. That's all right. It happens. It's live, right? Okay. So I like to use mind mapping when it comes to every single individual thing when it comes to my marketing, whether it's content creation, just trying to wrap my head around an idea that I think I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure if I can roll with it. I mind map. So here's what I want to say about this. There is scientific evidence.
I might have figured it out.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
We're going to keep you muted for a minute. I'm sorry, Brie. So there's scientific evidence in regards to the creative process. And I have said this in every single class, and I will continue to say this. When you open those neural pathways for creativity, it's endless. Absolutely, completely endless. So the hardest part is getting in place and knowing what you're doing and how to really just get an idea into formation. So that's where mind mapping comes in. Head, hand, foot knowledge. So if you don't know who Donald Miller is with story brand marketing, I 100% recommend him. His book has completely changed my life when it comes to how to be strategic with the story I'm telling. Those of you who follow me on social media know that when I post something, I tell a story. I take a lot of pride in having a process of being able to create a story, pull you in, and have you have a takeaway from it. So head, hand, foot knowledge is exactly that when it comes to storytelling. Head is your intelligence. You have every single thing within you to figure out your marketing, to figure out your branding, to have a real estate career the way you want to. Now, for me, for example, your creative hustle is just a concept. I bought the URL, gosh, like 3 years ago and sat on it. Then I had a heart-to-heart moment with my real estate coach, and she said, why are you in coaching? We have done this for an entire year. You've spent an exuberant amount of money, and you won't do things the way I'm telling you to do them. And I said, well, I'm not like other real estate agents, and I own that. But I don't know if I can make money doing what I want to do. This was last August. By September, I had the business up and rolling and a foundation starting, and here we are. When you lean into your passion of what you want to do with your business, it has a natural flow. That is your head knowledge. That is your intelligence. Your hand is assembling it. It took that moment with my coach telling me that I had either needed to stop coaching or I needed to start fresh for me to start assembling my mind map for my new business plan. And then your foot knowledge is just implementing it, putting the work in and implementing it and going all in on it. So why do we need to use this? Why? This is the big part. Using a mind map allows you to boost your productivity around any and all ideas with a visual format, because visual is huge. We are aesthetic creatures. To format a product in regards to organizing your thoughts, brainstorming ideas, and developing strategies. This is the biggest part. It allows you to create clarity around a topic. You ever realize when you walk in a house or a room of your own house and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't. This is a hot mess. It's really messy. It's really dirty. It's hurting my eyeballs right now. It's the same thing when it comes to creating an idea and a concept. You have to put it on paper. You have to be visual. You can even use Canva for this, y'all. Canva has mind mapping templates. It's incredible. It doesn't have to be this way. I just like doing this because I think it's really fun to have cling paper and Sharpie markers. How to use it. How do you use this mind mapping? Well, here's a whole entire list of different things you can do in your brand. SEO strategies, brand identity, which is huge. Campaign strategy. You can have seasonal campaigns, holidays when they come up. What is my campaign for Thanksgiving? What is my campaign for the holidays? Social media planning. Now, social media planning is going to be different than your content strategy planning. And that will be another class where we can dive into a little bit deeper of that, but they're connected, but they're separate. And a marketing strategy. You can plan your marketing strategy. Now, marketing encompasses everything. whether it's mailers, handouts, keynote speaking, it encompasses it all, as well as your brand evolution. So just because you're starting off where you are with your brand now, it does not mean that's where you're going to be in 5 years, because you're going to evolve. You're going to change. If you hear my dogs, it's probably the mailman.
I just threw mine outside.
Oh, good, because then it would have been a dog war. Customer journey mapping. If you have customers, clients, and services that you offer, map it. What is it like for them from introduction to finish? How does that process look? How can you replicate that process for when you bring team members on? If you're a broker and you own your own brokerage, what is your customer journey for your agents? I can't tell you how many brokerages I have worked for that don't have that. They can't sit there and tell me what the journey is. When I brought a new recruit into an office, I had a folder with their interview of all of the things we had to offer and what they could expect. And then I had a mandatory, they had to meet with me for X amount of meetings for the first 60 to 90 days. And they got a folder of all kinds of stuff. And you know what? We spent a good hour to an hour and a half at every single onboarding, going over their journey, because that was an opportunity for me to build know, like, trust, to keep them at the brokerage. So then I kept my job. So what does that journey look like? Product training, products, training, services, launch. That's how you use mind mapping. Now, I studied under Dr. Delatoro McNeil. He is a phenomenal keynote speaker. I highly, highly recommend you check out his training. He will not disappoint. He taught me the 5 P's of storytelling. And I know this won't necessarily connect right now, but I promise you it's all going to connect at the end. So when you're coming up with a story to advertise and market to your consumer, your clients, your customers, these are different content ideas. When you are creating your content, think, is it a principle? Am I trying to teach something to someone? Practice. If it's a first-time home buyer, or if it's someone who's doing weight loss, what do they have to practice to get the end result? Is it a process to get you from point A to point C? What does that middle B look like for them? You can demonstrate that process with your content. Are you telling a story of a person? So I saw a really great story that stuck with me today on social media, and this goes to show you the power of your content. Dave Rosenfield is an agent out in Arizona, and on his truck, he talks about how he's a veteran. Well, an elderly veteran pulled him inside and said, hey, come talk to my friend and I. We were both in 2 separate wars. He told a story of a person, which then ties back to his business, and it's incredible. It's incredible what it can do for you. Like Heather says, I'm blown away by all the templates in Canva for mind mapping. There's a lot. And then product. Just because we're in a service industry does not mean that we don't have a product. We can have a home buyer's guide, a seller's guide. We can have a book we authored. We can have training courses. It can be all kinds of different things. So when you're storytelling, these are 5 principles to pay attention to that can flow within your mind map. Here's another really, really great thing that I think holds true for me and a lot of other individuals. I am a business. I am a small business owner. Though my business is in real estate, I am a business owner. A lot of times we are conditioned to believe we're realtors, and then there's business owners and entrepreneurs. It's the same. So I want you to try and get the framework mentally to prepare yourself for your new creative journey. You are a business that is becoming an influencer. And by being an influencer, you are going to have more clients. You are going to have more business because, guys, this is the way the world is going. It is predicted by 2027, social media marketing is going to be, I think it was $574 billion industry. You have to incorporate it into your business in some capacity. So with that being said, do we have any questions before we dive in with Bree?
What's the difference between like a business plan and mind mapping? I've only heard of brain mapping from all my ADHD days with my kids. So that's all I think about
Like
is
the same way. So I would say a business plan for me is more of the logistics, right? It's the logistics of I have to make X amount of money. How am I going to get there? What are the goals? Where do I spend the bulk of my time? With that business plan, then I think you can mind map each individual segment and figure out the branches. And we'll go into that because mind mapping is based around a core center idea or concept, and then you branch out from there. Oh, look, it made a heart. Do it again.
Oh, I want to try that. How did you do that?
Oh, that's so cool, guys. We learned something new. Hey, StreamYard.
It's not working for me.
Maybe it's because it's moving. I don't know. Or maybe it's the pink shirt. That's cool. All right.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
Good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's dive in. I don't know how to, Heather, I'm going to have you take control of my screen. Ah, there we go. Hi, Bree.
Hi, guys. I think I'm all fixed up. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It happens. You know, it's, I had some tech issues too. So tell me about your idea and what you think you want to run with.
Okay, so we have Team Wyo City in Casper, Wyoming. And so our brand, it is the open brand of our city. So our logo and everything matches our city logos. So everywhere you go, all the city trucks that are driving, like their logos match ours. So like that's been really huge for us as far as like having the recognition and everything. But we're having so many people move into Casper now too. There's something we really want to focus on is like really showing them what all they can do while they're in town and kind of bring them into our community as we sell them homes and stuff, because we have so many like new people that come in. So it's basically like figuring out how to connect with people as they're moving in and kind of making more of a community than just, I guess, just selling them a house. You know what I mean? Like that's where all my friends have come from. Like a good portion of them is from selling them homes. And so like just making that more of a plan and trying to bring people in more and support them more.
100% I agree. Okay, so what I'm hearing from you is you're very community focused and you are a small, what do you think your population is? Because I know based on where I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area, it's metropolitan, you're more small town, right? I would say.
We have 60,000 is our population. Yeah. So yeah, and we're pretty isolated too. We're different than a lot of markets because we don't have a continuous city around us. Like we're definitely Casper and then nothing.
Understood. Yeah, that was definitely something different for me when oh no, where did I go? Hold on, guys. My screen disappeared. Stay with me. StreamYard, there we go. Sorry. That was something that took me a minute to understand because I live in a bubble and I realized that. So do you have a tagline? Do you have any slogan or a title? Like for me and my real estate business, mine is making houses homes.
Ours is just people first. We make choices based on our clients, not anything else.
Okay, so I would say, do you feel confident and comfortable with mind mapping people first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so in the middle, you're going to have, I hope this, oh, it does show. It was like, I didn't know how, people first.
I made you bigger so that way we could see your screen.
Yay. Yeah, because this is like, tell your husband to send me a chunky Sharpie. I'm kidding.
Oh, he always has bags of them. We will get you taken care of. Texting them now.
This paper, you guys, is a Klingon paper. It clings to pretty much anything. You can only write on walls with it. It's really great to have for team huddles and training projects and stuff. That was another thing that Dr. Delatoro gifted me with knowledge. I love this stuff. I use it all the time. So people first. What we're going to do from here is we have our core concept of this is what our branding and our marketing is, because everything you're telling me is community centric. Mm-hmm. Do you have any branches, like main things that you would say anchor what this means to you and your team?
That's a great question. So I would just say it just is the basis of how we make all of our decisions and how we treat people. We treat people like the golden rule basically would be like the core of it is that we want to treat people how we hope people treat us, treat our clients from the outside. But I'm not sure if that's like.
No, I think that's good. So golden rule, you think that that would be a main branch of what this means to you and how you can then create content and marketing around that?
Yep. Cool. Yeah. The golden rule, and then just community centric, community
Another
building.
golden rule. Okay. You said the other one would be community building as another branch.
Yeah. I think community building.
Just shorten this, commune build.
And then when we're done, we're going to take a picture so then Bree can do her magic and turn this into one of those beautiful Canva templates, but real life stuff.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna mail this to you too, girls, so you can put it on your office wall.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have 2. Do you have 1 or 2 more you'd like to add?
What about like helping people orient to Casper, like community, I don't know, that'd be like market knowledge or market
knowledge.
No, I'm not sure how to put that.
I don't know.
Because we also have our community page that's called We Love Casper that's not necessarily 100% tied to our team. So what I'd really like to do is put those 2 things together, because I've always just used it as a platform to just share and collect, just make sure that people are getting all the information that I'm seeing. So it's like gathering information and making it easier for people to understand. Like with my notes, like I take the big stuff and I make it usable.
Perfect. I think that's
smart. Yeah, visitors, like what I'm working on right now is a visitor's guide, so that when people come in, because I sit there and I'm like, you need to try this hike, you need to go to this, you know what I mean? Like, and it's all just
you are the know-all. You are. This is what I think is really important, and I think sadly we have not spent some time on. We've gotten away from is in real estate historically. When you think about it, we are the community connectors. We are the ones that you would come to for advice. What's going on? What's happening? Who do you know for this? So remind me again, because I really like that. I think that's brilliant. What's the page called that you wanted?
It's called We Love Casper.
So do you want to do We Love Casper or name it something else?
I think leave it We Love Casper. I already have like over 5,000 people following it. I've been doing it for like years, but I just have never like transitioned to making it something that's a platform for us necessarily. It's just been a community building thing. So, but I like the connector thing. Like we're connectors. Like we put together all the connections, and that's something
100%.
And being a resource for our clients too. So,
I agree.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now that we have our 3 main pillars of this concept, there's endless possibilities from here. The whole point of this particular session is trying to get you to start formulating not only content creation ideas, but community-based ideas and how to have uniformity around everything you do moving forward. So of these 3, which one do you think is your top tier item to lean into?
Probably the We Love Casper.
Perfect.
The community page.
Okay, so you have a community page, and you said you have 5,000 people on it.
Yeah,
that's incredible, girl. Especially for you have 60,000 residents. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it for years, but I just need to turn it into something more than just like, it's just, I'm putting out random shit and I don't have the plan.
Sorry. Okay. So in a perfect world situation, what do you see this becoming for you and doing? Perfect. Like no limiting beliefs, no obstacles in motion. How could you incorporate We Love Casper with your real estate team?
Well, like it's just sharing all of our connections and resources with a bigger picture. Like it's being able to promote businesses, it's being able to be the person that's connecting, being the connector through there, but making it more visible with us being the people behind it, I think.
Okay, so team in the forefront.
Like make us the area experts that people want to talk to, because not only do they like buy a house, but they also get to know like all the cool stuff to do.
Okay, so here's what I'm hearing from you. Your community page has 5,000 people, which is an incredible number when you think of the insight possibility of that and just tracking your insights. That's another thing I want you to spend some time in your free time, is diving into your insights on that page.
Okay.
And tracking what type of posts perform better than other posts and so on and so forth. Promoting your business in regards to promote business locally. So I'm going to put locally because it's giving back to others and showing value that you're a connector. And you want to put your team in the forefront because at the end of the day, they have to see your face to know that you are the person that can help them with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then area experts. You know everything there is to know about this particular area, and that's huge. That's incredible. So is there anything else for We Love Casper you'd like to add to your branches?
And then just highlight all of the different, like, I don't think people picture Wyoming the same way that we do. Like there's so much beautiful spaces. And so like being able to make we need to create more content, I think, for it. And yeah, with that being like the area experts, but like doing drone videos of all the different spots and spending more time making that content, but tying it to us too.
I think that's incredible. I think that's going to be a really good aspect to lean into because my son has been to Wyoming. I have not. So I only know what I know on TV and TikTok and Instagram, and it's not much.
I don't even have a horse.
You what?
But I don't even have a horse.
See, exactly. Everyone has their thought, like massive land and just like beautiful open spaces. And you do, when you post your stuffs where you're out and about in your trails and it's springtime and the flowers, it's absolutely stunning. So I think that this is a really important one. And I think that why Wyoming's different can also tie into your community build, because it's going to be breaking down that stigma of what the perception is of Wyoming and all of the different things. And it's think of it this way. It's taking someone who is of a completely different culture, of a completely different geographical area, and you're creating a story for them to fall in love with Wyoming and see what you guys see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think that one's really, really powerful for sure. Now, would you like to lean into your golden rule concept or your community build?
I think the community building portion.
Okay. What do you find to stand out the most? Or is there a concept you are a little bit afraid of creating that you would love to see implemented with this?
So one thing that we're really wanting to get into is new construction and development. And so that is actually literally community building.
Yeah.
So it is like learning things that we're not that familiar with. We've all worked with builders and stuff, but like the literal act of community building, but then also like creating a bunco group for all like the ladies that we've worked with that are new to town, so they can get to know each other. And it's doing like a painting night. Like I like doing painting nights at my house, and having clients and friends and stuff all get together. Cause my favorite thing is like connecting people with people and seeing like the friendships that form and stuff. Because when you move, I've moved a lot. And when you do move, like it's hard to get to know people. So if we can be that person that like helps them foster their love for Casper, then more
Why
people.
not? Yeah. Okay. So new build, which is literal.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Which is amazing. I don't know if you've seen some of the TikTok videos individuals are doing of the new build, but they are absolutely incredible. And you don't have to be like, here is the kitchen. Intertwine your personality into it. Like maybe you have an easel set up, like I can paint in the kitchen. I can paint over there. Whatever it is, right? Like have fun with it.
Yeah, your video of your 80s or 70s or 80s house, like the old retro house where you and Kenny dressed up, like, oh man, that was fan.
I love it. Thanks. I still haven't sold it, but that's because
Damn it. I know it's dated and
it's dated. It's actually the lowest priced unit, but our South Florida market, if anyone is curious, we are in a buyer's market. So yeah,
it is. Oh man. Yeah, see, we're still opposite. Like we have people just coming, it seems like.
Yeah, no, we've got a lot on the market in a very small geographical area.
Let's all just start selling. Okay, we'll just bring Wyoming to Florida. We all need second homes.
We do. So new build and then new community members, right?
Yep, adding new community members and helping them kind of integrate with our community.
So what's really powerful is that within yourself alone, you already have all of the key parts you need to really have a robust marketing strategy.
I know.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is. It's just a matter of, isn't your page called Brilliantly Bree too?
Yeah, Brilliantly Bree Art. So
see, there you go. Oh my gosh, you got to tie it in. Brilliantly people first or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too, is because I've done 3 murals in Casper the last year too. So tying in the mural.
I know that. I want to see. Right, look at Heather. Oh.
Yeah, I'll send you my murals. But so that's been really
fun. You just need to get like a Jeep group to go and you do meetups. I mean, they do that. Like here, like they just had a Mustang event.
Team member with the Jeep
does a mural. Here we got the Rock over at UT that's constantly being redone. It becomes a photo opportunity. Yeah. People tag your page. Hello, blows up.
Yeah. So I did like on the local guide that I'm doing for people that are coming. Like I made the cover of it one of my murals that's in a coffee shop and stuff, and then like putting that like it, so I am also trying to combine the art into it, but yeah, each team member is a little different too. So we each kind of have our thing, like we talked about a little.
Yeah. So I think that's really important because for me, the biggest struggle I had when I made this shift was, can I incorporate the marketing and the creativity into real estate and have it actually be a thing? And the answer is yes. So what we're seeing is a huge shift in our industry of marketing and just knowing that we are small business owners. And there are so many of us. In my state alone, we had the most real estate professionals for an entire state in the entire country, more than California at one point during COVID. So it's astronomical in regards to needing to stand out. And what makes you you, right? When I think of you, I think of incredible drawings and really a lot of depth when it comes to quotes and just sharing that inspirational knowledge with people in a completely unique setting. I'm pretty sure I was in a class and I was in a book and I text you and I was like, is this your art? Because it looked like your art. Yeah. So I think that you should lean in, and I think that would be something to marinate on for sure, of how can I really dive in and incorporate my art and say, you know, creativity connects us all in one way or another. It genuinely does. So new build, new community members. I think that this is going to tie back into all of this here. And then your golden rule. Tell me a little bit more about the golden rule.
Just that we treat people the way we'd expect others to treat us and our clients, like meaning that we're not going to run over other people purposefully, that we're making decisions that are ethical, and based on, just being a good human. Be a good human is like the core of it. And so, so I have like the drawings that are be a good human. And so like just starting to wear, like even just our branding, like in what we're wearing and stuff is shifting a little bit. Like I'm wearing my art today. And so I have a whole bunch of them that are like, you know.
Yay! I remember when you did the bicycle shirts, but now you're doing actual shirts. So I need one. Thank you. Send me the link.
So do you have a store?
Yeah, I have an Etsy store too. So,
but yeah, that.
But then too, like, so art-wise, one thing that I have done at least once is like make a spring bucket list checklist that was a doodled thing that I put on We Left Casper, but it's tying that, like around to our team to figuring it out.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm very squirrely, as you can tell.
I think it comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
So much great information. Oh, you're welcome. This is just the beginning, guys. When I tell you, there's 3 women in my office right now that I have been using as my lovely human guinea pigs, for lack of a more eloquent way of saying it. And they have done it for about 6 weeks now. To see their business and their marketing shift completely is insane. It's really powerful to just see everything come together for them. So Bree, let me ask you another question before we move on to the golden rule concept. Are you tracking insights on anything, any social media account?
Yeah, but not consistently.
Not consistently. Okay, so that's going to be homework. Okay. I think that at some point, I personally get a lot of my business from my personal Facebook page, not my business page, and not so much Instagram or TikTok. It's what I like about Facebook is it's an extremely intimate community. And regardless of what anyone says, it is the most intimate community there is. Discord can be a little bit comparable to Facebook in that regards, but it doesn't have the visual aesthetics Facebook does. So if you're a visual person like me, I find it a little jarring to look at. So spend some time and see where you want to focus the most of this, because I think that creating the marketing concepts around these key points and then putting it on that social media page that is going to be your dominant page for getting traction and more clients and running ads and so on and so forth. It's going to be important for you to see what types of posts perform better than other types of posts, so that you know what you can lean into. So for me, I know wholeheartedly when I share something that's completely vulnerable and about my personal life, it outperforms everything else. And it could be like a microblog, but I know when I post that, even if it's on a Saturday, because I have found that on weekends, it tends to die off because people are now out and about living their lives and not on social media, which is great. If it rides out, I know it's a good post. I will have people find posts 2 weeks later after I post it. And that's the goal. I want people to start paying attention to, okay, well, I posted this then, and I want it to continue on. Because by having that awareness, you're going to be able to plug and play with your marketing concepts then. Is there anything else for golden rule that you think should stand out, whether it's business related, community related, or just team related?
Not super much. Like, I have a whole list of values that kind of go with it. Do you want some of those?
Give me your top value.
It's connection.
Okay. So I love this connection because that actually ties into everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's, I don't know, that's the core of it all. And then also just having like the high level of service for everybody too, like treating them, doing the raving, raving clients, like all of that sort of thing, to try to make it go above and beyond too, so that people walk away from the situation feeling really good.
Good.
That center should be like Casper Connections.
Casper Connections.
I like that a lot better than People First, because People First sounds like a bank.
Yeah, it does.
It does. But the Casper Connection, because every single one of these has connections on there.
That's brilliant. That Bree, I think you need to remarket to that.
The Casper Connection, like change We Love Casper to the Casper Connection.
Well, if you have that many people, you can't. But
I wouldn't change that. Yeah, they're not going to
like it. Could totally be at least a hashtag for all of this stuff you're doing.
Yeah. So here's the point of a story brand in regards to helping you create your clarity around your marketing and your advertising is exactly what Heather says. She just took everything in your mind map and created direct clarity. And if I go up to you and I say, hey, Bree, what do you do again? Why are you like in the community? You can just say, I'm a community connector.
I'm a community.
Or Casper Connections. Or
I'm the Casper Connection.
Yeah. And then it's complete clarity. There's no guesswork. There's no guesswork in what you do and what you stand for. You've actually laid it all completely out for me. And that is the whole premise of mind mapping, is to dive so deep, you get that clarity. Do you think that there's anything, because this is our first part, right, of the mind map, is creating what we stand for, what we want the visual to look like, what is our vision in regards to values and concept. Is there anything that internally or externally that you think holds you guys back, that's a limiting belief or a thought or an obstacle?
I think all of us, like, it's just more playing safe versus just being ourselves. So I think it's probably going to be a lot of letting go of being concerned of like stepping on toes or like going, I don't know. Like I always worry about being too much.
Oh, girl, what are you talking about? Too much. I like that one, but I also don't like that
I know,
one.
right? It's annoying.
So what is your fear of too much?
I don't know. Like, well, me and Allison, like we share an office and we just get so excited. We get so loud and we get so like all in. And like, we just had lunch with another agent the other day. And we just we just get so, so excited about everything. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. But it's also just like, I don't want to overwhelm people or be somebody that's a pushy human or anything like that. Like, I like the decision, or I like what we do, and so I want to share it. I'm a sharer.
No, I think that's great. So look, so you just changed that around from being too much to a new framework of sharing.
We're sharing.
Sharing is carried.
Well, and it's funny too, because like each of us on our team, like Allison is super like her and her husband do a ton of Legos and have like the Lego cities and stuff. So we've tried to incorporate like that into it. And Scott on our team has a Jeep and does the mountain biking and all of that thing. So incorporating all of our different personalities together. But I think all of us have most of us have a little bit of the, like, we've just been hiding. We don't think that, like, a couple of my team members don't even post on social media at all. So it's even just getting them to like
Get
put themselves out there a little bit. Cause they are like, a lot of us come from being teams that we hide ourselves behind the team leader. But the whole point of our team is that we're all like equal team members on Team YO City, which is like, you know, more of a community-based idea than like the person team, you know?
Yeah.
And so we want each person to show up instead of being like the secret agents.
100%. And I think that, so let's say 3 is traditional team. Because you guys really aren't a traditional team. And to be frank, that model is dying. That model does not serve everyone on the team. You have to take the framework around of elevating some of the most, there they go again. Sorry, y'all. Some of the most successful people I have found that have teams in multiple states have a process for their team, just like you would see in a small business or a corporation. They promote within, they give new tasks within. Everyone leans into what their individual strengths are to elevate each other. So it's kind of like the donut economic model, right? Where it's like, instead of from the top trickling down, it just trickles outward. And I'm seeing way more teams lean in that route, and it works. So now it's just finding and maybe the people who don't post on social media will never post on social media, but they can find other means of ways of marketing that works for them. I still think they should post, but I get it. It's the fastest way to scale for free is the way I look at it. Okay, is there any other limiting beliefs? Because I want you to have your limiting beliefs around you, so that way you can say, I'm going to create a mantra around these things and say, I am not too much. We are a modern team. We think outside of the box. We create outside of the box. However you can frame it to make it resonate with you. Is there anything else to add?
I would say it's that like work-life balance a little bit, like always being scared of getting too busy, but really when you're busy, you're way more efficient and things flow so nicely. But I think that always, it gets in the way because we're like, we go yeah, like it's all in on real estate and then we get like almost burned out. So it's like, yeah, and figuring out how to balance that and like not being scared of being busy. Cause like I said, like, I think it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough time at home. But once you get good at like having the different, you know, being able to tell people like, I'm not going to come meet you tonight at 7 or, you know, something like that. Like, yeah, having boundaries and qualifying. And I mean, I think being busy is amazing, but I know that it's in like a limiting belief that we'll be too busy or we won't have time to be with our families anymore and stuff. And I don't think that's the case. I think we're opening ourselves up for more freedom by being busier, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. So I think that when we have that type of framework about ourselves, and we're all guilty of doing it in some capacity or another, we tend to neglect the fact that we're shrinking ourselves to fit other people's needs. So instead of shrinking ourselves, we have to elevate, and we have to understand that there are things that we can put into place to help scale. So spending some time with the formation of your team of, okay, when we reach this threshold of whatever that means to you, then maybe we hire a VA, or maybe we bring someone on, or maybe we transition some of the responsibilities of the team around. So that way it's an even balance and no one of us is getting burnt out, because being very ADHD in general, which I'm pretty sure you're probably like me in that regard. We go super high and then we crash. We go super high and crash.
Well, and that's our thought with having our team is that like, yeah, we can all just cover each other. We all have our own strengths. And so it's figuring out how to stick all of that together and then also communicating that to the people out there and getting them to relate with us too. And like, it was cool because I had some clients that reached out specifically to me. They're like, we hunted everywhere and between like your art and everything that we've seen you do and all your reviews. And like, we really like think you're the perfect agent for us. Like, that's the kind of thing that is so cool to have happen.
It is. And it's taking what I love the most about social media and just marketing in general is when I do something and then I have an in real life conversation about it. Because like the fact that I did something that someone consciously remembered and then brought it up in a conversation, that is such a huge win. That's like, wow. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it stuck. Like I've had people come up and say, you know, they won't necessarily always comment or be the ones to like your posts, which took me a while to wrap my head around and be like, well, why didn't you like it then? Like what's going on? But it's a personal reason, right? Maybe it's just, there's something where they just can't, it's too vulnerable for them or whatever. So once I broke through that noise of understanding that everyone operates differently, I was able to truly appreciate that, like, it's very powerful to put something on social media and then have someone remember it later on to bring it up into a conversation, because it takes a minimum of 10 impressions for people to start thinking about us and remembering us. That's like those jingles in the commercials. Think about how many times you've heard those jingles because they play the commercials so many times. And then it just sticks. So that's what I want you to try and start thinking when everything you do moving forward is I want it to be an opportunity to get a jingle concept, right, as your analogy and have it stick with people.
Yep. A jingle that sticks.
Yeah. And I think it's great. Heather totally just came up with your brand, man.
I know. I so appreciate you. I'm excited about this. I'm like, we have a new like motto to use with this. And that's amazing. Cause the connection bit is like the best part of it, I think.
Yeah. And you guys can go so much deeper with your mind mapping, but I wanted to take this hour to really just share with you guys a little bit of the understanding of it, what it is, how, why, and then the biggest aha is getting that motto, that tagline, that creativity, whatever it is. Your creative hustle was kind of tricky for me. It took some time. I was working with my friend Ramsey on actually building out our story brand template. And I was like, you know what? Because he has a community. He's actually a good connection for you as well. He's in a small town in Missouri in Lebanon, which isn't too far from Lake of the Ozarks, but he has Collab. And it's all about elevating the community members. So I definitely recommend you guys connecting. And anyone who's in a small town, he's done brilliant work with just getting business back in some of these businesses that have been struggling. And then it turns back to real estate business for him as well. So the point of that is when you create your story brand and you lean into mind mapping and just getting it all out on paper, whatever it is, it creates clarity. So for your creative hustle, I had this long, lengthy thing of that still had holes in it. I was like, we're not a brand, we're a collective, and we do blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's too much. And then I was able to sit back, do a mind map for it, and figure out that we create clarity around your marketing and advertising. There's no questions asked now about what we do. It's all right there within the motto. So that's the most important, is getting clarity around whatever it is you do. So there's anyone can just be like, oh, I get it. And they don't have to have a follow-up question or concern. So any other questions or things you want to talk about before we hop off here? Or what do you think?
I will say I was with Laura, like thinking too big when it comes, like, I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, my head's a crazy place to be. But by the time you get done with all of this, I realized I was thinking too big. And just like you said, for business planning, right? Like, I have the goals, I have the roadmap. This now I get, like, I have to break it down into what is one thing I'm looking to achieve that's in my center, and then
everything else
from there. So now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to send it to you when I get done with it. I'm using one of those templates. I'm not nearly as talented as Bree, so
I was just thinking, like, putting like our team, you know, in the middle, and then like all the different branches of where each of those clients are going to come from and stuff, like breaking those down and then breaking that down. And then, yeah, like it's just, there's so many different applications. I've always wanted to do mind mapping, but it's one of the things I start and then I, swerve.
Look at you manifesting stuff, girl.
It's like, I should just do that. Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to do this with you. And thank you so much for being the first person that I've ever done and demonstrate the process with ever live on air. That's real. The fact that it's you, that means so much to me.
Well, it's like the original trio back in the days. I was like, oh my gosh, we're bringing this full circle right now. This is so awesome.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Bree Martin was the second admin I added on the Remax Creative Group when she was with the brand. Before she went off and did her own thing, which I'm so happy and proud of you for doing that. And Heather joined me. She was the first one. I think she thought I was a little crazy, and Bree was like, no, let's just give it a try, see what happens,
Because I had the other group that was like kind of a nightmare, and I was like, I don't know if I can do another one, but yeah.
It can be so fun.
That's way more. Yeah, definitely. The marketing was totally my jam. The other one, like, no, happily gave that away. Like,
yeah. And Bree, you gotta keep us all in the loop now. You can't leave us hanging. So as you start to develop these concepts, I would love if you would post in the group. Guys, this is what the group is for. I don't want to see just my post in there. I want to see us asking questions and inspiring each other and trying to figure out who do we know where for a referral or whatever it is, just so we can all create a community. Because if it wasn't for Facebook, I would have never connected with the two of you. And complete full circle, if it wasn't for Facebook and Remax, for me specifically, I would have never connected with the two of you, and I would have never be on this journey that I am now, teaching this class. So it's like crazy.
It always
happens. So love Facebook groups. Well, thank you guys. I'm going to mail this off to you. So text me, because I think I have your office address, but I don't know if it's still the same. And then I can't wait to see what you create from here and share in the group. I want to see all this cool marketing you're going to come up with.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely will.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.